Bro, honestly, I like when they talk, because I'm always motivated, but it makes me more motivated. I'm like, bro, you talk, I'm just waiting to beat you, so I'm gonna make an edit out of you. None of these guys cut like me. None of these guys train like me. None of these guys live the life I live as a fighter, martial artist. I always say this. I think our generation of Armenian fighters is gonna be the next takeover, in the UFC. Fighting is the best thing, like humans, but we've been fighting animals since the beginning. So it's all about fighting. You fight every day to live. I'm 22 and like time is going. Just yesterday I just made my debut in UNF. I was 19 years old. When I'm like 35, 36, when I'm done with the sport, I don't want to look back, be like, oh shit, but I could compete on May 31st, but I didn't do it because I was too lazy to go run every morning, or I was too lazy I just didn't want to fight that day. I didn't feel like it. No, bro, whatever happens. I'm gonna train as hard as I can. I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna show off.
Fedya, so good to have you here, bro.
It's good to have you guys too.
Yeah.
It's like the last time we did. Well, it's really good to have you here. This podcast was very important to me. I had to reschedule my haircut because I really wanted to sit here and talk to Fed.
Well, I think it's well worth rescheduling your haircut.
I agree.
Because
I agree
with
with
a
that.
good haircut, you still don't look good.
Oh, that's messed up, man.
Yeah,
Messed up.
I think you should have your haircut, brother.
I should have my haircut.
Yes,
What kind of
yes.
style do you think I should do? Something like yours?
Nah, if Coach David was here, he will tell you go just shave your head because he called this gay.
Shout out to Coach Dave.
Bro, I love Coach Dave. And he just fought recently in a boxing match
Mexico?
down in Mexico and knocked the dude out, huh?
Bro, he knocked the guy out so hard. The guy was crying on his knees. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, you can hear it. He doesn't post. I don't know why is he being so humble, but there's a video. The guy is just on his knees.
Really?
Like it was bad. Yeah, I'm like, don't hit us like that, coach.
Listen, I would love to see Dave jump in that cage again. You think he'll jump back in the cage, or is he just going to stick to boxing? Can you give us any insight on that, or is it top secret?
I know him and Brian are planning something. They're training without us. They're training with Coach Rhino. But they're not telling us when they train. But I know they're training because I see the weight loss and I see the sharpness in the hand.
Uh-huh.
So, Coach, I know you're hiding it, but we see it.
You think that's a potential maybe, UNF fight or something? Is that what's looming?
Of course, bro. Both of them, Coach Brian and Dave, if they want, they just need date, I think, to get disciplined and just do it. Because it's not about skill, bro. They have the skill. So is Coach Daniel. Coach Daniel is 42, I think. But he can still go in there and fight.
Coach Daniel's scary.
Yeah,
No,
bro,
he kind of scares me. To be honest with you, he just has that look in his eyes like he's a killer.
Bro,
you know what I mean?
You should see our sparrings. It is scary. So I had like 3 weeks ago, I had a war with him, like 6 rounds kickboxing. Bro, Dave was like, go with Coach Daniel, and I already know what's gonna happen. Then I see this one kid just walking out of the cage and putting his hand on his knee. I'm like, I'm like, it's about to be a war. I'm like, yeah, he's scary. He's super scary.
Yeah.
And he doesn't care like you get hurt or not.
He
cares
puts
after.
it on you.
No, he's really good. He actually is super experienced. He fought UFC veteran. He's really good to have in the gym. But he also humble us. It's really good.
You need a coach that will humble you, keep you in check.
Yeah, they believe me. They humble me. Coach Brian, David, or Daniel. They humble me a lot.
Could you imagine if you were on a card with Dave and Brian? That would blow the roof off of Southern California.
Bro, when I started MMA, like they was fighting at that time, right? I think it was UNF 2. He was supposed to fight Art Hernandez or some guy like this.
Yeah.
Bro, we were supposed to be in the same card, bro. That was like a dream, but never happened.
I think it could still happen though. Like if you talk with Dave, you see Dave, seems like he has that. Well, obviously he just competed in boxing, but he seems like he has that itch for.
Yeah,
I think Dave's a fighter, man. I think he's definitely itching. I think Fedya just gave us some insight that he's working towards something, getting back in fight shape. I would love to see you guys both on the card. That would rock just rock the roof off the place.
Bro, his skill wise is really good, bro. Like his hands are super heavy, super sharp all the time. Even like when he's not training, it's still there. He's been boxing all his life. And jiu-jitsu, bro, is a black belt under Gokor. It says a lot, right?
Yeah, that I don't think you can be.
Yeah, bro, I'm blue belt, bro. I just won Naga black belt division. I'm blue belt.
You're a blue belt?
So you're a blue belt. Just to clarify, you're a blue belt that just won the black belt division at Naga.
Yes, brothers. Then I'm Sensei Goku, I'm waiting for my purple belt, please.
When do you think Gokar's going to give it? He doesn't give that stuff up easy, though, bro.
I don't know, bro. I asked, he didn't say anything. So,
So did you
so
ask
I'm
him?
probably not ready yet.
Yeah. Did he even give you a response when you asked him, or he was just like
said,
ignoring you?
Yeah, I think that means not yet.
Yeah.
It's okay. I still beat black belts. That's what matters. No,
Yeah.
it's good.
Well, your last performance was an amazing performance, bro.
MMA or MMA?
No, MMA. Yeah, sorry. I
He's been
meant,
so active. He's like, which one are you talking
yeah,
about?
I know you're competing every weekend. What in jiu-jitsu and
Jiu-jitsu, wrestling, boxing, taekwondo. Nah, not taekwondo. But yeah. Yeah, but yeah, it was against Conroy. It was great. No fight is easy. Preparation was really hard. We went there, we make it look easy, but it was good. He talked some shit. Like Arshak says, he became a meme. But it is what it is. Still love that guy. He's a former Marine. Gotta give him his props.
Yeah, all the respect to Liam. But you
Always.
say you talked a little shit. As a fighter, does that fire you up anymore? Does that make you want to punish him more when you guys fight? Does that do anything to you psychologically?
Bro, honestly, I like when they talk, because I'm always motivated, but it makes me more motivated. I'm like, bro, you talk, I'm just waiting to beat you, so I'm gonna make an edit out of you. Looks good on my Instagram reels, right? So that's what this one.
That is true, brother. That is true.
It was great. Thanks, Leon, for your fight, brother.
no, I think Liam's a good guy. It was kind of cool. His dad was there with him. Just class acts. I saw.
I know, bro. Like, don't bring your family, bro. Like,
You didn't like that?
bro, no, I don't want to beat them in front of
You
his dad. Not just that, bro. I see some guys, they bring their moms. I'm like, oh my god, bro.
Yeah, that's always a hard one for me, right? When I see like guys bringing their kids
Yeah,
and stuff.
that's
Even
crazy.
UFC guys, like their kids are in the audience. They're like 8, 10 years old. Like, I don't know. That
Yeah,
doesn't
I
just
don't know.
feel
I
good to
think
me.
it's hard. It's hard. My mom is the biggest supporter of mine, right? Like, she watches every fight. She watches my opponent's fights. She even gives me some tips what to do, right? But she never comes to the fights, Like, first, she doesn't want to see, and second, it was just hard, bro. I don't want. It's extra pressure, I think,
Yeah. Well, you actually bring a huge fan base with you too.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I think next one is gonna be bigger. Is it gonna be in Commerce?
Yeah, Commerce,
Okay,
May
Commerce
31st.
takeover May 31st. Double champ status.
Double champ.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, well, double champ status. You're gonna be fighting for the lightweight title on May 31st. Just got the contract signed today, actually. Which
The contract is signed?
The contract is signed.
Ooh, I like this.
Man, I'm so excited.
No, I'm excited too. So, what would it mean for you to? I mean, you just won the welterweight belt when you fought Liam Conroy. What would it mean to you to capture that second belt? Right, I know you have plans of potentially going pro soon, just taking that jump up in your career. What would it mean to get 2 belts on May 31st?
Remember, even before the fight, I was in the locker room. I think Ryan was there. He's like, well, what is the roadmap? I was like, okay, we're going to do this, then we're going to do that, then we're going to do that. And it's still going on the plan, So thank God everything is fine. I just want, I'm a 55er,
Yeah.
I know I'm big 55er. None of these guys cut like me. None of these guys train like me. None of these guys live the life I live as a fighter, martial artist, So for me, it's just resume, And like after winning the welterweight belt, like a lot of more people know me, we went to some stores, they know me. I'm like, oh, that feels good,
No way, you got recognized?
Yeah.
That's a UNF effect right there.
That's what I'm saying. You guys are getting big, so we are too.
I like that though. I like that you're getting recognized. I
Yes.
think, you are a big name, in Southern California. I mean, everybody knows who you are, and you're definitely a fan favorite in the Armenian community. I think there's something special about Armenian fighters, like the whole culture. The Armenian fans really back you and back their fighters, bro. I think it's something special.
Yeah, I agree. We have really good fighters. Like I always say this, I think our generation of Armenian fighters is gonna be the next takeover, in the UFC.
Yeah.
And we just start from UNF. We gotta go step by step. But this is the best place to be before UFC. I think. Great competition. Look at the Rising Stars division. Everyone is a pro. Come on,
They're pro
they're
level
not
fights.
amateur.
We talk about this all the time. You can't tell the
Yeah.
difference between the rising stars and the pros.
Bro, like if that's amateur, bro, what is pro? Like, you know, they are pro. Like
Yeah.
almost all of them. I don't see if you especially after the second fight when they take off the shin guards, bro, these guys are pro. You can't tell
Yeah.
that's an amateur fight. Just 3 minutes.
I think the talent pool is so deep in California, especially in UNF, right? So I'll watch some of the regional, shows throughout, the country, and the talent doesn't even match up with what UNF is putting in the cage.
Yeah, I think also it's this area, you know, because I fought in Fresno too.
Mm-hmm.
Different level. Here we're different level. Fighters are different level. Gyms are different level. Like it's great. It's
Well,
really good.
you fought for Valley Fight Series before, so
Yeah,
I know
I'm
those
champion
folks.
there.
They're nice people up there.
Amazing people.
But you just did a grappling match up there, right? And tapped the dude out in what?
Yeah, I choked them out to sleep under 45 seconds. Yeah, then
And that was what, 2 weeks after you won the belt with us, or 3 weeks, something?
Yes, that was 2 weeks right after that. I'm telling you, I always compete. This is what I do all my life.
I feel like you've took it up a notch though recently. From what I'm just seeing on social media, I know you don't always play everything on social media, but it feels like you're really right now. You're a man on a mission.
Yeah,
Has there been
think
a
so. I
different
think
shift
so.
kind of in the last 6 months or something where you just want to compete and you're just really hungry right now?
To be honest, there's always things that makes you not be able to compete. But like I'm like, if not now, then when? You know, I'm 22, and like time is going. Just yesterday, I just made my debut in UNF. I was 19 years old. You know, it's time to really pick it up and just destroy everybody till we get the belt. You know, and go to UFC, and it's gonna happen. It just takes time. You know.
I remember when you were supposed to fight, we had one of our first content days, and I said that on camera that he was a guy that I could see get into the UFC one day, which is crazy. We're 3 years later now. You're about to go for your second Rising Stars belt, and you're talking about going pro and everything. It's crazy how everything's unfolding.
Yeah, I kind of want to go back to something Ryan was kind of hitting on. It does seem to me like there's a new focus or a new seriousness to you for some reason. And I think, like, when I listened to your interview after the last fight when you won the belt, like you're fighting for something bigger. You'd recently lost a loved one. You just seemed like a man on a mission.
Yeah. It was really hard period after the Hajiev fight, you know. A lot of bad things happened to me and my family, you know. I've lost my grandpa. That's the guy that raised me, you know. My father was always in Russia working to bring food on the table. Then he moved to US and I was still in Armenia. So grandpa was like basically dad, you know.
Yeah.
And I didn't get to see him or be in his funeral, so that kind of like break me a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
But I was
For sure.
then my brother got in a car crash in Russia, crazy car crash. Two people died, and he survived, but he was in coma 4 months, 7 days, fighting. Then he get out of the coma, and after like 15 days, body just can't take it no more, you know. So just he dies, and it was hard, you know. And that was the week of the fight, you know. Like it's
Crazy.
hard. It's hard. There's big stories like about every fight, you know.
Did you ever think about pulling out of the fight when
No.
you were going through that?
No, never. I won't pull out of the fight unless it's like I'm not able to fight, you know. If it's mental, there's no way. Even like there's no way. Mental wise, no way. I'm never, and I'm always going in there to dominate. Like doesn't matter. It's wrestling match, jiu-jitsu competition, MMA, kickboxing. Once even before I step in, I already know I'm gonna win the match, you know. Mental wise, never. I'm strong mentally. I know this because I got God on my side. Like I know nothing can break me. I'm unbreakable. When God walks with you, you cannot break. You know, and I feel it every time I step in the cage. All glory to Christ.
So you're fighting May 31st for the title.
Amazing, yeah.
What do you know? Do you know anything about your opponent?
So many names Ryan sent me today.
You probably don't even know who.
Okay.
You're fighting. Does it
We-
even? And Fed, let's be honest. Does it even matter who you fight in your book, or you just?
No, I
You're
don't
just
think
ready
it
to
matters right now.
smash anybody.
Okay, like I swear this is what I think in my head and in my heart. I think I'm the best. Like I'm the best amateur fighter in the world, and I don't think just in California. I think I'm the best in the world, and whoever is next, UNF, They can give me, I don't know, whoever you guys can bring someone from Europe or I don't care, from Russia, you know. If you think you're the best, well, what does best do? Best beats all of them. So I think I'm ready for anyone. 155 is my weight class, you know.
Yeah.
And UNF, I fought UNF too. This is my house, you know. Whoever is there, this guy's record, I only saw 2-0. He fought one fight in UNF. I've been with UNF since the start, bro. You're coming to my house, you know. And it's
Getting
all
some chills
respect.
right now, Fedya. Oh, cutting the promo.
I like this like fired up Fed. I really kind of, like this. Are you channeling your inner Dave a little bit? Because Dave is Dave is one that will give it to you. You know what I mean?
He wants me, but he wants me to do that. But like, I'm always respectful. And even with this guy, bro, he took the fight. He has 2 fights. He took the fight. Of course, I'm gonna respect the guy. He's a real fighter. It's fighters fight. I always say birds fly, fish swim, fighters fight. And this is what he does. So he's gonna go against me. It's gonna be a great fight. I'm gonna do everything I can. I'm training 3-4 times a day. I'm killing myself against the best in the world to come and beat you, bro. Like, so be ready. I'm ready. And I was born to do this. I know I've been doing this since I was 5-6 years old. So if you think it's gonna be an easy fight or it's gonna be something, no, bro. I'm ready to die every time I step in. I swear to God.
Dude, Fedya's got
I
some
got the chills, bro.
You guys,
But I can tell from the way you're talking right now is you're really living and breathing this shit, right? Like,
I feel it.
this is your everything, right? This is it for you, and I love seeing that for fighters that
Passion, man.
Today, I think I was texting Dave. Like, of course, you send me the contract. You guys don't send me the names even no more. You guys just send me the contract.
well, you just say talk to Dave. You'll fight whoever. He's like, just send it to Dave.
The coach has
I
to
swear
approve.
I
That's how
didn't
it
know
goes.
who I was fighting. I saw the contract. I signed. Then I was like, oh, let me check this guy out. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, bro. Dave said this because after high school, I didn't want to go to college, and Dave is like, there's no plan B, bro. This is all we go in,
Yeah.
So you better live and breathe this, and that's what I do.
I think you have to in this game. You have to feel that way because you have to be in fighting. I think, and again, I always say I'm a fan. I'm watching from the outside, right? You're a real fighter, but I feel like the guys that are 100% all in and focused are the guys that really do the best.
For sure. Of course, your discipline, your training is gonna pay off. But the craziest thing about this sport, you can have all the discipline, you can have all the training, all the best corners, everybody. Like nobody has corners like I do. You guys know, but and it still might not pay off. That's the crazy thing. So I might be the best in the gym, but I might come there and just look like a bomb. And it doesn't just go on me. It goes for everyone, me including, there is nothing guaranteed. You can go get knocked out by the easiest bomb ever, So it doesn't pay off. So, but that's what makes it the most entertaining sport.
It makes it the
ever,
best sport in the world, right?
That's what I'm
Expect the unexpected. I mean, how many underdog stories do you see in what it could be? And it's the craziest sport that people choose to get into. But that's why I think even want to start UNF is we respect people that want to do this for a living so much.
Every MMA fighter is like a Rocky story, like crazy. When you hear like UFC fighters, you're like, and it's really good because it's gonna help people, to overcome things in life. Like it can be drugs, it can be having alcohol problems, it can be I don't know anything. Fighting helps. Fighting is the best thing. Like humans, but we've been fighting animals since the beginning, So it's all about fighting. You fight every day to live,
Yeah, fighting's like therapy, right?
It is, yeah. But I'm very calm outside, because the sparrings after that you're just lazy to get mad,
Yeah, I mean when you go with Daniel Sarafian, you can't get mad at
Daniel, bro.
I'll say it again. Daniel scares me. If you had to fight one, Dave, Brian, or Daniel, you had to. Who you picking?
You're putting him in a tough spot here, but I want to hear the answer.
My God.
Listen, all I know is I'm not fighting Daniel. I don't want to fight Dave or Brian either.
I'm not fighting any of them.
I think Daniel just would rip my head off.
He's ready. He has his answer.
Okay, I have an answer. I'll fight Dave just because I know how much he loves me, so he's not gonna kill me.
Yeah.
But the other two,
they might want to kill you,
bro. Brian, bro, world champion Muay Thai,
818 bad boy,
so
right
crazy.
there.
Yeah, but I think Dave has the best boxing out of 3.
Yeah.
And but Daniel is just, bro. He's he tries to kill me every day, bro. Not just me, bro. There was a
Doesn't take it
video.
easy on you?
Yeah, there was a video of Arshak before his fight, all bloody. Remember?
Was that for Daniel?
Guy. Of course, that was Daniel, bro. Kidding me? Crazy story, bro. It was going against this guy. It was a kid, but he looks like a grown man, right? Like 17, maybe 17 years old. And then I see this guy is getting out of the cage, all bloody. Then I'm like, Coach Daniel, that's a 17-year-old kid. He's like, he looks like a man to me.
So I beat the shit out of him.
That's what I said, bro. It's just a normal thing for him.
Well, May 31st, Arshak's also going to be on the card.
Yes, bro. He has a tough fight coming. I'm very proud of the work
Yeah.
he puts in, you know. I think he will get the belt. But again, it's a really tough fight, but that's what we do. We fight the best guys. We want to fight the best
You
because
said
we're the
earlier,
best.
fighters fight, right? If you think you're the
Fighters
best, you
fight.
got to beat the best and beat whoever. And I think it's just, I love in the Rising Stars when the best do fight the best.
Yeah.
Of course.
And
bro.
I think the world of Arshak and I think the world of Byron Valle. And I think it's gonna be a good fight. But how does it feel? Teammates both fighting for belts on the same card. That has to be exciting
Bro,
for you guys.
it's horrible, bro.
It's horrible. Why is it horrible?
Bro, okay. So UNF 2, let's go back to the beginning. I had a fight and Hamlet was fighting before me, right? Against Satish. Satish is a good friend of mine now.
Yeah.
Amazing guy, you know, Indian, crazy guy. So,
Satish is crazy.
yeah, he is crazy, bro.
He seems like
Sambo
he'll
guy.
fight anybody, anywhere, anytime.
He will, bro. I remember, bro. I saw an interview of him. He's like, UFC champion. I don't care. I'm taking him down. I'm like, yeah, he will. Yeah, bro. So Hamlet and Satish had a tough fight. It was split decision. Hamlet lost the fight. Bro, I'm up next. Like, I'm going next, you know? And I'm fighting a guy 10 years older than me. I was 19-year-old that time. I'm like, bro, he just lost. I'm like, my friend just lost, and I'm about to get in with another killer, you know? And when Hamlet was fighting, everybody, all my corners, they went to watch the fight. I'm just
You're by
all
yourself.
alone,
Oh,
sitting
in
in
the
the
back.
bro, in my head, and I'm 19. It's my second fight. I'm like, bro, and he just and I told the guys, I'm like, bro, even if he lose, I'm like, don't tell me he lost. And I see this guy, he comes, he's like. I'm like, bro, don't tell me. He's like, I didn't say anything. I'm like, bro,
I can see it on your
I'm like, you
face.
told me last, bro, already. That was tough, bro. It's tough. Put me first, yeah? Let me go first, then Arshak and Jada can go.
Yeah. I think that definitely has to be tough because I think too, in your gym especially, you guys have such a team spirit. You guys are like, you know, brothers and sisters, right? And so I think seeing one of your teammates lose definitely doesn't feel
Hurts.
good.
That hurts.
Yeah.
I think that hurts more than when I lost my fight, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really hard to see your friend getting punched in the head, and especially like getting dominated. But this is the fight game, you know.
Yeah.
We live this. It's really hard, but this is the party with, you know. We can't always win, right? Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn.
Well, I think now's the time, honestly, how I feel about it is now's the time to really test yourself and have these hard fights because once you go pro, your record really matters at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Bro, I want to fight the best, but, you know, sometimes the guys don't want to fight. Sometimes it's just not the right time, you know. But I don't blame anyone, you know. It's not only about not fighting me. It's sometimes about the time. And in MMA, you get hurt a lot, you know, in training. So I know they might be hurt. So I'll never like say something if they just pull out, you know. But there's this guy, I want to talk about this. So I won the Naga black belt division, and this guy, I forgot his name. He was supposed to fight Anthony Dizimon. He started talking shit, saying that's a fake black belt and shit.
Hold on, wait. I want to stop you right there. This guy was supposed to fight Anthony DeSimo. Do we know who he is?
He didn't fight. He ran out of the building. What's his name?
Oh, wait, yeah. I know who you're talking. John, is his name Johnny something?
Yeah, Johnny, some at Academy LA.
Okay, let me tell you this, bro.
Ooh, this
Let me
sounds
tell
like
you
I know
this.
that's why I wanted to make sure I knew who it was.
Okay, well, what's his name? Johnny?
John, I think so.
Brother, first, when you go fight jiu-jitsu or wrestling, especially when you go to the highest division, expert division, you do not choose your opponents, my brother. But when you fight a guy like Anthony Dizimon, a month before you have a signed contract, you know who you're fighting, brother. And you come to the building, put all these guys, they do so much content work on you. All your team, you bring them to the cage, and you run out of building like a coward, bro. Like, and you come talk shit about me not fighting real black belts, bro. You're a coward, bro. Like, and coward dies 1,000 deaths. Remember this. Thor told you. Everyone told you. You can say you, and you have in your bio fear no one. Yeah, you should put fear no one, but Anthony Dizimon, bro. That's what you are, bro. Camo wanted to kick you out of the Californian MMA, bro. Like, I have nothing to say, bro. I'll never say these things to you, bro, if you didn't start first. So know your place, bro. I'm a fighter. Every time I have a signed contract, I show up and I show off. Doesn't matter. Even if I get knocked out, even if I die, I'll show up. I swear to God, if I'm supposed to fight Islam Makhachev, I know I'm going to lose the fight. I'll come, I'll get knocked the fuck out. But I won't ever run out of the building. I cannot live with this, bro. Now you're going to hear this and you're going to go sleep and try to live with this. Fucking bum.
So what happened?
Bro, I don't know, bro. It's
So
like,
he said you were ducking people?
No. So I fight in Naga. Naga is a grappling association, right?
Yep.
Expert division is black belt division.
Yeah.
There is some brown belts, some purple belts. So one of my boys, they made a edit like Naga black belt division as a blue belt. I'm blue belt, you know? So it was good promoting. Bro, this guy comes and he's like, I feel cap. I'm like, bro, the only cap about you is you being a fighter, you dumb fuck, you know? Bro, I never tried to cuss, bro, but you got me mad, bro. So this is what you get, bro. You're a fucking coward, bro.
Whoa.
Well, I
And
mean,
he's like, I'll come to your gym. And
He really said
yeah,
that?
I think Arthur, Coach Arthur is like, yeah, you're welcome to come to roll with us. I'm like, yeah, it's like, I'll be happy to come. Bro, you won't come nowhere, bro. You run out of the building, dog. Like, what do you want me to say, bro? You run out of the building and you still have the UNF picture as your profile pic. Bro, delete your Instagram, dog. Like, I don't want to humiliate you, bro, but this is what you're going to get, bro, if you talk shit, bro. I never disrespect anyone.
I mean, we're on a podcast, so we got to talk about things. I'm not here to talk shit, but I don't think
Why?
I don't think Johnny was in the right to say anything to anyone. And listen, he could get better from what happened. I'm not saying he's just forever gonna be that, but for him to do that and then come at other people calling them cap is just a little crazy to me, to be honest.
Yeah. Are we sure we're talking about the same guy? Because I just
Bro,
can't.
he was supposed to fight Anthony.
He was supposed to
Yeah.
fight Anthony Decent. Yeah, there
No,
can't be
I
anyone
know
else.
who we're talking. I just want to make sure.
Bro, it's not even disrespect, bro. I'm like, bro,
Bring up a
I'm
picture of
competing
him.
in the
Let me
highest
see if it
division.
shows him. See.
Let's see if I can find
I
something.
just want to see if it's the same guy.
Yeah,
So
bro.
really, he's just capping on you, huh?
Well, he said he feels cap. It's like, bro, I went against the experts. You know,
Yeah.
I don't choose my opponents. The guys can be fake black belts. They can be fake purple belts.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. I do my
Whoever
job.
they put you against is who you go
Yeah,
against.
bro. Don't come.
Yeah.
Don't be like, I feel cap or something, bro. Like, come on, bro. You disrespected all of us. A lot of people paid for tickets to come there, and you didn't fight.
Yeah, it
Like,
was.
I don't know how he was. Maybe he didn't fight because something was wrong. And I don't know, bro. I just think if you're there, if you're okay, you should go on fight, bro.
Yeah,
That's
it was-
what I think.
Fed, it's one of like one day once UNF makes it big, right? We'll do this like tell all sort of like the behind the scenes. That is definitely gonna be one of those moments because I remember like people were saying like the fighter just left the building.
Yeah,
He left the building.
He
like,
left the building,
2 matches
bro.
before he was supposed to be up.
And bro, he's from really good team, Fight Science, I think. Bro, amazing people, right? Like Mashadi, I fought Mashadi, amazing guy.
Mashadi's a great guy.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
Bro, I love that team. You know,
Yeah.
their coach, I don't know the name, but he's amazing guy. I always show respect to them.
Ian.
Bro, you even like disrespect your coaches if you do that, brother.
Yeah.
You know? Like everybody has
What's his
this
Instagram handle? I want to see.
Maybe he deleted after this, you know?
No, I just am really surprised. Did this happen recently?
Bro, yeah, after the Naga post, like you can see, I'm like, bro, why is this guy talking? I'm like, bro,
Wow.
I didn't do anything to you. I'm like,
Listen, I wouldn't talk shit to you, Fed. I'd be a little
it's not
scared.
even that, bro. It's a respect
Listen,
thing.
if you are gonna talk shit, you gotta stand on business, and you can't have prior actions that you've done already, and then come and talk
That's
shit.
what I'm saying,
That's
right?
why
That's the
I
thing.
totally get where you're coming from, right? If you want to be Conor McGregor and you stand on business and you talk shit and you're gonna back it up.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I could like respect or whatever, but I can understand that. But you can't do what you did and then talk shit to a champ like you. Is how I feel.
No, not this guy, bro. Just not this guy. You know, anybody else, I'm okay. I'll take it. I'm like, but not this guy, bro. When you run out of building, bro, it's over for you, bro. Like, it's over.
Can we make that match with you and
No,
him, maybe?
no,
That was
bro,
my
I'm
next
not.
question.
I'm not
I was
gonna
just
make.
waiting.
Bro, come on, man. I think we could sell that place
No, bro.
out.
I'm
No,
not
you wouldn't
gonna.
even like.
I'm not gonna get ready for a guy and he might run out of the building again, bro.
That's fair. I
Bro,
I
you
get
think
that.
would you fight a guy that you don't know he might show up or not? You're gonna waste time from your life, bro.
This is true.
I rather fight real fighters like Isaac Vasquez. That I have a real guy in front of me, bro. That's
Yeah.
a fighter that's gonna show up and show off. Yeah. So let me just focus on my career. I don't need this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about your opponent, Isaac Vasquez. Really cool guy, really talented kid. Just fought, for us on the same card that you were on. I was very impressed with his fight.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's a hungry young kid. I think he's 19 years old right now.
Amazing.
But what's crazy is, Fed, you're only 22.
Yeah, I'm 22.
You just feel like you have this maturity to you. I just feel like you're a little bit older.
It's the
than that.
beard.
Is that the look? Is that the haircut? And
It's the beard. It's tricking you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, you know what? I do. Maybe it's a beard, but I don't think it's a beard. I think you mentioned you made your debut at 19 years old, but
Yeah, that's
Maybe,
probably
yeah.
why.
UNF is. I mean, time is going fast, but it feels like we've been doing UNF forever at this point.
Yeah.
And Fed was there for the first event. You know what I mean?
It's been 3 years.
And we've kinda get to see-
I'm a veteran.
You really are. You're an old school.
You're 23 years old in an event, Fed. How does that feel?
22 years old veteran, OG fighter. For UNF, one of the first ones.
Yeah.
It's good.
Ryan, what do you think Isaac brings to the table against Fed?
I think.
I mean, why did you make this match? Why do you feel that this is a good match?
Yeah, we had another fight initially, but some things went south with that, and then I was looking at the other possible names we had, and Isaac's name was definitely in the hat, and I think Isaac impressed me a lot in his last performance, especially fighting an experienced guy when it was just his second fight, and he looked good. He looked good all around everywhere. So, someone told me not to have that on for this podcast, but I did. But all around, he's pretty good everywhere, and he's a hungry, he's a really ambitious fighter. So I thought it'd be a good matchup.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you watch his fight? You watch any tape on him? Or anything?
Not yet, but
You
the
will?
Ryan said he's good, so let's go.
Yeah.
No, he's definitely good, and I think he's gonna have to be on his game for sure.
Yeah.
Come fight night when him and Fed go at it, but UNF gold on the line, and I think it's gonna be a great fight
Yeah,
for
no,
sure.
I think it's going to be a great fight. So, what have you been focusing on, Fed? I know that you're wrestling, you're doing jiu-jitsu. I mean, are you
Yeah.
just working on everything, all skill
Yeah,
sets? or-
I'm gonna do a kickboxing fight maybe before this UNF fight too. Just everything. I'm gonna compete this.
Don't
week
do it
again.
too soon. Man, don't do it too close to the.
No. I'm not gonna get hurt. Don't worry.
Okay.
It's good. I'm focusing on everything. Just get better at like individual sports. Not just one.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Just like jiu-jitsu, I need to improve. Even wrestling. I've been wrestling all my life. I still can improve. You always have room, yeah. And striking, of course, I can improve. I have really good striking, but always there's place to improve.
Well, do you have a game plan for this next fight? I mean, do you want to showcase your striking, or do you want to showcase your wrestling without giving away your game
Yeah,
plan?
I'm just gonna go out there and just mix it up. Just mix it up. That's what I do the best. I mix it up. I'm more experienced. He has 2 fights. Yeah, I'm more experienced. I know experience means a lot, But I'm very happy this guy took the fight, and I really respect you, brother, for taking this fight. You're a fighter, bro. I respect fighters.
Me too. Well, you mentioned that you've been, you brought up how long you've been wrestling. Let's take it back a little bit. How'd you even get into the world of mixed martial arts?
Okay, bro. This is the craziest story.
I always ask the best question. That's why I was just
Yeah,
crazy
this is-
story.
He doesn't ask the best questions. bro.
Yeah.
It's like the same fucking question.
What's the same fucking question?
It's the same question. Okay. So I was wrestling, right? I won the state for freestyle wrestling. It was pretty tough. I did 8 matches that day. I won the states, but after that it was like there was nothing else to do, So I was like, I didn't know what to do. And there was this gym. It was a like garage. It was called Golden Boys, I think.
Oh, SK Golden
Wrestling.
Boys.
Yeah, SK
Yeah,
Golden
yeah.
Boys.
In Van Nuys, right?
So yeah, I go,
Yeah.
I knock the door, and I'm like, I wanna wrestle here. There was no clubs, nothing. Not everybody was doing jiu-jitsu, but I didn't know. So I go there. I think that was the first day. Rafael dos Anjos was there.
Yeah?
Yeah, and I see RDA was like, but I didn't know what's MMA. He was a former world champion already, right? So I see this guy's taking him down, and he see me. He's like, yeah, you're good. You should do MMA, and that just got stuck in my mind, And then I search MMA schools, and the closest was Gokor School, right, in North Hollywood. I go there, and I'm like, I want to do MMA. Gokor is like, no, MMA doesn't work like this. You have to do jiu-jitsu. You have to do striking. So he explained me how everything works, and I just started doing. One day, I was going against black belts, and I was taking everybody down. But the second I would go on the ground, they would catch me because
Yeah.
I only was a wrestler, yeah. and Dave was there that day. Dave Roberts was there, and I take this black belt down, and he's like, "This kid is good." He's like, "How old are you?" I'm like, "I'm like 17, 16, 17." He's like, "Yeah, you should come do MMA." I'm like, "Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do." And he kind of like took us, me, Arshak, and like it became a team, like a
Mm-hmm.
core guys of Dave, and we just start fighting. And we wanted to fight after 2 months to get a first fight after training MMA 2 months. It took a little bit, but it was great. Yeah, so it was like Dave, that kind of got me into this, and also I was watching like Khabib, and I didn't understand. It's really hard to take someone down, hold them down, and everything. So I'm like, when I watched it, I'm like, yeah, I can do that too. But then you get in the sport and you realize how hard it is, but it was too late already. Yeah,
You have to keep going.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
hooked at that
Keep going.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about Dave a little bit. I think he's one of the driving forces, behind you and in your MMA career. And he's such a good guy, he's so invested in you.
Yeah, the thing about Dave is he's honest, like he doesn't need anything from us. He just wants us to become successful, not just in fighting, but in life too, not just me. I'm like he's just pushing us, investing. He's even invest money in us.
Well, I don't think a lot of people know Dave's a very successful entrepreneur. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? He's a very successful guy. He doesn't need to run a gym. He doesn't
doesn't need to
need
do this.
to do these things. It's truly because he wants to and he has this
Yeah,
passion for it.
bro, the guy drives Toyota Prius. What else can you say? Like he doesn't care about this stuff. He
Yeah.
doesn't care about fame like that. He doesn't care about money. He just wants to help us.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it's really pushing us to do better every time, better every time.
Yeah, it's really important that you guys have someone like Dave too, because I feel like this sport is so hard to make in there already. But having that great support system, and I think some people have good support systems, but I don't think a lot of people have a Dave Roberts in their life and someone really
Oh
pushing them.
no, bro, it's blessing. Not just him, also all the other coaches.
Yeah.
The team, the kids, everyone.
So let's talk about that a little bit. So you hooked up with Dave and Arshak, you guys are with him, and then Dave opened Hayastan, right?
Yeah, that
And
was a
then
little bit after.
yeah, so I mean you've been there since day one, but how did Dave assemble this amazing team of coaches?
So him and Brian and Daniel, they were already friends from
Got
other
it.
gyms. So he already had. We're like, oh, this is like a serious coaching stuff, already. Then they start doing Muay Thai, and I knew Brian from the fights. I knew he was a world champion and everything, but I didn't personally know him. So I get to know the guy. I see he's a great guy and he's a good coach. And I'm like, yeah, and we didn't really have a striking coach in the other house, and so we would just go to fights with our wrestling and kind of with the heart, yeah. But now we have a really good striking coach and really good program in Northridge. Also, we opened new school in Pasadena, and our friend Gela is running it. I think he got third in the world for sambo, combat sambo. Yeah,
Wow.
that's really big.
Yeah.
So he's a Soviet school, really good trainer. So if you live around Pasadena, you can go check out the gym there too. All the programs are great. Also, me and Arshak, we started running the wrestling class in Hayastan Northridge. And it's good because I bring the Soviet style of wrestling and Arshak brings the American style of wrestling. So it's like a perfect, if you want your kids there, you don't need to send them to Dagestan 2-3 years to forget, Send them to Northridge 2-3 years and forget.
Send them to highest at 2-3 years
You
and
don't need to go
forget.
to Dagestan. Just send them to Northridge or
Northridge,
Hayastan.
yes.
Yeah, but one thing that's really cool about Hayastan too, when we've been over there a couple of times, like it's a big, good sized gym, but it's not just a fighter's gym, right? You have guys have a really big kids program.
Yeah. I always talk about this. Like the coaches, they pay so much attention to the kids. It's crazy. Because I've been in other gyms. People are like, they're like, they're kids. They want to play. Yeah, but in the highest town, especially Northridge location, it's not like that. It's like we're trying to make something out of you. So it's really good. So same thing with the old people. Of course, we understand their expectations. Some people just want to lose weight,
Yep.
but we want to make sure we push them just extra.
What do you consider old people? Would I be one of the old people?
Wait, don't tell them your age. Just throw an age out there.
No, brother, you're not old. You'll be in a fighter's core. So I think how old? Maybe I think you're like 55, 60.
56, yeah.
Yeah, I was close. I was close.
Got me.
And
You're
how-
fist bumping him for that?
Yeah.
Listen, I am.
If I call him old and say his age,
Listen, I
I was
am.
gonna
old.
say I also know you, so I know like there's no way he had kids when he has 6 years old. When he
Yeah.
was 6 years
Yeah,
old.
so there
So
you
that's
go.
That's why
So-
I didn't call him. young.
that's a good fighter and he's smart.
I realize I'm not young anymore, right?
But you
So
look
it's-
good for your age.
Thanks,
No, you
bro.
look very
I,
good,
I
man.
really appreciate it. But what's kind of cool too, that one thing I love is just the camaraderie and the bond of Hayastan. Like when you guys are fighting on cards, all these little kids come out. It was crazy at the last fight when you're fighting. You know Hector that works with us, right? The big Hispanic
Yeah,
guy,
yeah,
300 plus
yeah.
pounds. He was getting punked by all the little Armenian fans. He was like, they were just.
I had to go over there. I was like, hey guys, just
He's like, they're not listening to me. They're not listening to
I was
me.
like, let
They're
me just go
pushing
over
me.
there. So I told the child they were cool. What they listen when you
So
talk,
they were great.
when you
but-
talk to them nicely, they listen. They're
But
good.
it was just like what was so cool about it was like they were so happy to be there. They're like such fans, you know? what
Yeah,
mean?
like I think
they
you're the
love it.
coach, but it's also in the sense of they're your fans and they actually look up to you, right? Like you're who they want to strive to be one day. Is there any pressure with that, or how's that feeling?
There's a picture of me with the kids right before the fight. I'll show you guys later. It's like we're just yelling, singing. That was like 10 minutes before I walk into the cage. So they bring a good energy, you know. It's also really good. They love fighting, you know.
Yeah.
What a better place to be in, right?
Yeah. Did you like the last event at Woodland Hills, smaller venue, or do you like the bigger Commerce Casino venues, or do you have a preference? Or does
Commerce is like home. We're there every month.
Yeah.
You know? If
Yeah.
I'm not fighting, one of my guys are fighting. Yeah. But I really like Woodland Hills, you know. It was, I don't know, some people maybe they don't like. I like it. It was close, right? There was not. It wasn't hot. It wasn't cold there. The lighting was perfect. You guys did a perfect setup, so it was great.
did you like the
stage was
the
sick.
stage and the lighting on the stage? How cool is that?
bro? It was
Yeah.
great, and it was 10 minutes away from my house. So what a better place to be in.
Bro, that's us too. Like it's like 5 minutes from here, so it was just so nice.
Yeah,
It was
Commerce.
so
Is
close.
just, I mean, I love the venue at Commerce,
Yeah.
but the drive and setting up.
I know.
Woodland Hills was-
Let's do it there next time, yeah. And when I'm fighting, let's put it there. So I don't have to drive.
We'll make something happen for
Bro,
sure.
that was amazing, bro. Love that card. Everything was great.
Wow, it was there was such a like energy in the air.
And the main event was crazy, bro.
Whoa.
We-
That fight, we just posted that fight today on
I know,
YouTube,
I
right?
saw.
That thing has over 2.8 million views, 100,000 likes, and
283,000 likes.
283,000 likes and 100,000
I
comments.
think 100,000
Oh,
shares or something.
Yeah.
I know.
But all the numbers all over the place, but they're all a lot of numbers.
Did you? I mean,
I watched the highlights like 100 times probably.
Bro,
Me too.
The day after, I'm literally sitting there and I'm just rewatching it. I couldn't stop. It was just such a crazy back and forth fight. Well, did you watch it? You saw it
Yes,
live or were
yeah,
you?
yeah, no, I didn't saw it live, but I hear the voices. You know, I was because they after my fight, it was right after me,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So they took me back to do like some
Medicals.
medicals and stuff. Then I hear boo boo. I'm like, what is happening there? It was like King Kong and Godzilla is fighting. Yeah?
dude, it really was. That room freaking blew up.
Because like I think I bring the most people that day, right?
Yeah.
That was the biggest fan base I bring. And they're like, my friends, they tell me, we're like, we were about to leave. Then we're like, wait a second. I'm like,
Gotta watch this one.
Yeah.
Well, that fight was just nonstop action.
No, it was.
crazy. Yeah, props to both of the guys. You know, they're both are
Yeah.
killers. I don't think a fight like that someone lose. You know.
Yeah.
No, I kind of feel the same way about that. And I think what I liked about that fight is these were two top guys, really known for
course.
their striking,
Amazing guy.
really agreeing to go head to head, putting it all on the line. I mean, you can't get more high level than that.
No, as UNF, I mean, those are the fights I freaking love. And I think you're right. I don't think anyone did lose in that fight.
100%.
You know,
Well,
Jason got caught, but it was just
Yeah,
a
Jason got
fight.
caught, but one thing cool, like most people, when they quote unquote lose, they're not going to post about it. They're not going to do anything. You know, Jason Granado posted a video today. Hey, my fight's up on YouTube. Check it out.
Yeah, I saw.
Like,
Well, he
yeah,
didn't say just check it. I said watch the first minute and 30 seconds.
I saw.
He's a funny guy too.
Yeah,
didn't
that
want-
guy
he
is
didn't want
nice
to see-
guy.
He has a
bro,
personality on him.
no, both of those guys are really great.
I'm sure it hurts, you know, after dropping the guy 3 times.
Nuts, bro. It's
Dude.
crazy. But you said this earlier. Nothing's guaranteed in the sport.
100%.
Anything could
But-
happen.
But nobody lost in that fight. Only the fans won, I think, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
No, I totally agree. And I don't think anybody's stock goes down in a fight like that. I think their stock only goes up.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm telling Ryan, I mean, that's a rematch I would love to make.
Yeah,
I'd love
you're-
to see that made.
That's what I'm saying. You're not gonna look at the guy that got knocked out and be like, "Oh, he sucks, bro. He dropped the guy 3 times," and you're not gonna look the other guy and be like, he got lucky. No, bro, he's a dog. He kept coming back
Yeah.
3 times and he got the knockout.
And this is also what you said. I mean, our rising stars, they're pros.
Professionals. They're
Yes.
pros, bro.
Well, there's another fight. If you guys want to continue on that,
Yeah.
there's another fight on the card that I want to talk to you about. Your teammate Jada. She made her UNF debut and she fought Chloe Lombardo in a good fight. And there's 2 things I want to ask you. Just, how do you think about her fight, her improvements and everything? But she always also brings up of how you're like a big brother to her and she gives you credit for everything. So what's your guys' relationship like, you and Jada?
We're big. I'm trying, bro. I'm younger than her, but I'm trying to be a big brother,
Yeah.
But I'm more experienced, in fighting. So I'm like, I always tell her, I'm like, you have to train hard, especially you have to focus on wrestling and just wrestle. And it paid off in the fight. She stopped every single takedown almost. I like the ground barrel she did. She took the back. She finished the girl. And the girl was tough. The other girl was tough too,
Yeah.
Sometimes your record doesn't speak for itself. That's how it was for...
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of records.
Yeah, me too.
I think it's just...
Doesn't mean anything.
No, it's just like we had Jason Jones on the podcast. Jason Jones, was 0-3 till he beat Savak, right?
Yeah.
And, Jason Jones is a dog. He's a good fighter. He's just unfortunately been on the losing end of his fights.
You got to look at the guys he lost to. He lost to Diego. Diego is an animal.
Yeah.
Then the other guys, I'm sure he didn't lose to losers. You know what I mean?
No. I mean, the fight versus Gregor, he got caught with a crazy spinning back fist.
That's one of those moments.
He was winning the whole fight, to be fair. And the other dude he fought was I think it was both their debuts, but he was a very experienced kickboxer.
Well, what's crazy is, right, so Jason Jones is beating Gregor the whole fight. Totally. Then gets caught with a spinning back fist and gets finished. Well, Gregor just fought on another promotion just this Sunday, did the same freaking thing, hit another person with a spinning back fist.
He got a knockout
Not
again?
as clean as he got Jason, but still really good. Knocked him out. And you know what Jason posts? I'm not the only victim of Gregor or something like that.
He's so funny, bro.
I'm not
He's
the only
hilarious.
one.
That's crazy, bro. How does he keep pulling that off?
Bro, it's...
I thought that was the lucky one. That
No,
was not.
like
They set
Jason
it up.
DM'd me.
He
He
must
goes,
know
"See,
what
I'm
he's
not the only
doing."
one."
Set it up. I props to
Yeah.
him. He's half Armenian. That
Yeah.
really says everything. Good job, bro.
Gregor's got that spinning back fist down.
Bro, yeah, bro. I don't want to taste of that spinning back fist,
No, not at all.
Amazing. He's great, bro. Good job.
Yeah.
And he's a fighter. He keeps fighting. He's active, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, what, third fight this year already?
Yeah,
Crazy.
Gregor pretty much will fight anybody. too.
Gregor's like one of those guys. He'll fight anyone. He'll stay as active as possible if he's not injured. And he's a real fighter too. He really is.
He's a real fighter. Yeah, fighters show up and fighters fight.
Yeah. He's an interesting guy too. Like, and that's what I love about with UNF when we do the content days,
Yeah.
where you really get to sit down and talk to people and interact with them because you get to see a whole nother side of these guys. You know what I mean?
He's amazing. Yeah, I've talked to him a couple of times. I wanted to make sure he's Armenian.
Is he Armenian? I mean, I know
I
Balkan, the name is Armenian.
The last
story?
name is Armenian, but I talked to him like 20 minutes and I'm still not sure if he's Armenian, Yeah. But he's a great guy. That's what matters,
Yeah.
It's all about what kind of human being are you.
I love that. I think that's so important.
This is true. This is true. Jason Jones says that he's honorary Armenian because he trains under Georgi Karakanian.
Bro, he was walking out of Armenian music. I was like...
How'd you feel about that?
I felt happy. That was nice.
Well, he said it was out of respect because he knew he's fighting an Armenian.
I knew it was out
he
of
knew
respect.
the Armenians
He was
were
wiping.
going to... he knew the Armenians were going to come out heavy, and he said he did it out of respect for the Armenians and their
The
culture.
Armenian music's fire too. It's good.
Yeah,
it's groovy.
it is, bro. It's the best, bro.
Bro, that last event, wow, the Armenians really represented. Like,
Yeah,
it was
I was
just-
there. I watched. I loved it as a fun. Just being in there. Everything was great. The fights, back-to-back Armenians. You guys should have us. I have a lot of Armenian young guys coming. I was telling Ryan, 18, 19-year-old, they're gonna start fighting in UNF like Shopay Amalyan, Mahmoud Mohamedov, Yuri Aramian. Like these guys, these kids are like crazy, so good. It's scary. Like
this new generation, like we talk about it, is so scary.
Different
because
breed.
now
It is.
Skill
starting
level
so
is
young.
crazy.
these kids are scrapping with
Like when the
me,
UFC first started, there weren't many 22-year-olds as good as you are. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Think about it.
actually
bro,
nuts.
100%, bro. If you take like some rising stars, like good ones, like if you put them in 2000s in UFC, I think we can hang with them. I don't want to say anything because they made it there and they fought. And
No,
they're real fighters.
Times have changed.
Times have
It's
changed.
totally
Skills
different.
changed.
Dude, if
For
you go
sure.
back and look at the first generation of UFC fighters and stuff, like There's been a huge evolution.
It's just a bunch of tough guys that are willing to fight, you know.
The Tank Abbotts of the world, and
100%. And it was like more like martial art against martial arts, you know.
Yeah.
And now it's like you have to have good wrestling, you have to have good striking, you have to have good jiu-jitsu, you know. All this. If you're missing one, you're not gonna be the ultimate fighter.
Yeah.
And if you want to be the ultimate fighter, you have to be the ultimate fighter, you know.
Yeah.
But it's good. I think everybody's getting more well-rounded. But I still think it's better if you come to the sport with a base.
Yeah.
And if it's the best if you come to the sport with a wrestling base. You know?
Dagestani wrestling, Russian wrestling, American wrestling. What's the best wrestling, bro?
It's Artashad wrestling, Armenia wrestling.
Armenian wrestling.
No,
there
but
you go.
Dagestan, Armenia, like it's the Soviet, like Caucasians, you know.
Yeah.
Where it's different, you know. But I love American wrestling. I use a lot of moves I learned from American wrestlers. Bro, just wrestling. Doesn't matter. Sambo, judo, everything is wrestling. Greco-Roman, freestyle, folk style. It's all wrestling, you know? It's the best sport. There's no tougher sport than this. After this, everything else is easy.
Well, you talked about training over at SK Golden Boys when you first had started, bro. They have some savages. Did you train with Varden and Ludwig?
Yes.
They're all beasts.
I also...
So high level dudes.
Warden's brother was in UFC, Ludwig.
Ludwig's such a great guy, bro.
I've trained with him in Syndicate MMA in Las Vegas. The guy was really, he was really good, you know. They represent Ukraine and Armenia. Amazing guys. Warden threw me a lot of times. And I was a kid. I was 16 years old. He was throwing me, and those guys made me better, you know?
Yeah. He likes to take advantage of the little kids and toss people around.
I don't know about that.
That's not
you
crazy.
gotta know Varden.
He felt strong, man. So strong. Maybe I was a kid. That's why you felt like unreal strength.
Yeah.
But thanks to all these guys, you know, they all make me who I am today and who I'm just gonna be, you know.
All right. So Fed, like, who's your favorite MMA fighter out there? Or combat sports? Doesn't have to be MMA.
Ryan Buckner.
Ryan Buckner
Has no skills.
Course, no, he's top there. You know, he's up there. But I have to. I don't know. Like there's so many. You know, I like to learn from them.
Yeah.
Obviously, my brother Benil Dariush is one of them. True Christian. You know, really good skill fighter and new. Like he's the new generation. You know, he's not like 2000s fighters. He fought everybody. You know?
One thing I like about him, every time he comes to the event and he's cornering, the guy is such a humble guy, such a respectful guy. You'd never know he's a superstar, you know?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like after training, sometimes he'll be like, yeah, let's go to our house. We have some steak, you know, crazy, like super humble. He always tells us if we do something wrong, he'll just be straight up like, oh, you have to work on this, you have to work on that, you know? Amazing and super experienced, bro. Look how many years he's been in UFC. He fought pretty much everybody. Yeah, he was at the top. He lost to the best guys, Charles and Armand. But like, come on, bro. If you lose to these guys, there's no shame in it. You know.
Yeah.
There's no shame in losing. There's only shame when you don't compete. You run out of the
or when
building.
you run out of the building before your fight.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I mean he's truly one of the best in the world. Like the win streak he was on before he got into those losses was insane.
I think he can make a comeback. To be honest, you know, I believe it.
I feel like the guys at the top, man. It's like any given night.
It's so hard, man.
You know,
it's so hard. Imagine fighting the best guys for years, bro. Like sometimes. We are so worried about not losing to the fight, but when you're top there, like there's no losing, you know. You just have to compete, and hopefully one day you become champion, you know.
Yeah.
So hard, but yeah, he's an amazing guy. He's really an example for me, you know.
Who else is another role model of yours?
From fighters.
Anybody.
I think my mom is the best human being, you know. I don't know, she's just perfect, you know. I'm trying to be like her every day, but I just can't.
What makes her so perfect?
I mean, she's my mom, you know?
I was about to say I feel the same way about my mom.
Yeah,
She just gets it because she's your mom, or is it just that she's just giving you such good examples in life?
She's so supportive, you know. Like so there was hard times when I was in Armenia, and for me to go to my wrestling gym, it was like 10 miles away from my house, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to take a bus, but the last bus comes back to my village. I'm from village at like at 6 p.m. and my training was ending at like 9 p.m. So I had to walk like 10 miles, right? And it was hard for us to pay for the taxi. It was taxi back then. It wasn't like
Right.
Uber.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was like she was still really supportive, and there was times I was like, yeah, I don't want to do this, you know. I had to walk like 3-4 miles and just wait there, and maybe someone from my village is passing by. I swear to God, I've done this for 4 or 5 years. I just go and wait on the street, and hopefully one guy from the village is passing by, so he will stop, he will recognize me and take me back to home. If not, sometimes that took like 3-4 hours. Sometimes I walked as much as I can.
Yeah.
Then someone just comes and picks me up from there, you know. But bro, every day it was like this, you know. Like even when I was a kid, it was never easy, you know. The practice was starting like 6 p.m. and the bus was gone already. So I had to train, and in my mind, the whole time I'm training, I'm like, how am I gonna get home? You know, how am I
Yeah.
gonna get home? And like, it was so hard, bro. And I was training with the best in the world. You know, my gym in Armenia is the best. Is the best in the nation. You know, I'm from Artashat, Armenia. It's like we have world champions like Vazgen Tevanyan. He's a world champion. This guy was my training partner. They killed me every day. They were so good. They were killing me. But this is the price I had to pay to be good, you know.
And I'm just, how old were you around? Like, how old are you
When I moved to US,
No, when you're describing the story, like, you know.
I was from 12 to 15.
So you bring up your mom being supportive and making you not quit,
Always,
but
bro,
what
always.
really drove you to not maybe say, "Oh, forget this. I have to wait 3 hours." Like, was it the love of the sport? What was it that kept you doing
No,
it?
it was my mom, bro. It wasn't the love of the sport. There was a time I just stopped.
I knew it.
I
Yeah.
just stopped loving the sport because of all this, and then I just started losing. In wrestling, it's so hard, bro. I started losing so many times. Then I come back, you know, in the end. But it was so hard. I wanted to quit. Then also, like, I would sometimes come back and just try to do load up trucks and make some money so I can pay for the taxes
Yeah.
sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
I was loading up trucks like 13, 14 years old I was, you know. So just to make some money. But my mom was always, she was like, yeah, you have to train. You have to train. She didn't care about money. Like, she's like, I'll work. You have to train. The same thing now. Now they've made a plan that we can make money and support our families and train. But before that, she was like, yeah, you have to train. I'm going to work. You have to train. I'm going to work.
Wow.
Like, she's the best.
So
That's
you went through a lot. You sacrificed a lot. You can tell. So to me, one of the challenges I see today, a lot of kids these days have things I think a little bit too easy. You know, they don't have to, you know, go to wrestling
Yeah.
practice, then walk 10 miles home or try to
No.
worry about getting on the bus. You know, everything's handed to them.
Yeah, they're choosing what shoes to wear in wrestling practice. You know, there's a difference from now and back then in Armenia. You know, but that doesn't. Some guys like look at like Arman Sarukian. Like people always talk of how he has money, but bro, the guy has motivation. You know, sometimes when you have everything, you just want one more thing from life, and that's what drives you the most to be a world champion. You know,
Yeah.
there's guys like that too.
Yeah.
So it's not always, oh, I'm from poor family, you know, I'm gonna make it. No, sometimes I'm from rich family and I'm still gonna make it because there's nothing else to make in life.
That's right. It's being self-made, right?
Yes,
And trying to have
yes.
some goals that you go after, I think. But what's inspiring about your story is that you put in the hard work. You were blessed to have a very good, you know, support network with your mom
Yeah.
and your family. They were there for you, but you had to put in a lot of hard work to get where you're at today.
Yeah, of course. After all this support, all these people behind me, if you don't put in the work, it's a disrespect to them. For me,
Yeah,
that's how
no, I
I
feel the
think,
same.
you know. Like that's why every time I fight, like I want to make sure, like even like if you watch my interviews, yeah, today I use some bad words, like not bad, but you know, it's nothing disrespect. I was just mad because, bro, don't talk about my gym, you know. But like I try never
Yeah.
cuss, especially in front of the cameras. Nothing, like I try to be not an example, you know,
Yeah.
but I want to be someone that like years after when I have kids, they want to look to my interviews, look my fights, and they'll be like, oh no, this guy was a piece of shit. No, I don't want that, you know.
Yeah.
I want them to think, oh, this guy was a good,
Something
respectful
special.
guy, you know.
Yeah.
Something like this. It's very important to me.
Well, I think it shines through. I mean, at 22 years old to kind of have that mindset, I think you're
Yeah.
on the right path. A lot of people your age aren't that mature, have that mindset quite yet.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, Ryan's 27, bro, and he still doesn't have it together yet.
Yeah, you gotta send
gotta
Ryan to
work on him.
highest and 2-3 years.
I don't-
forget
I
Can I
don't-
send him to
telling you.
Armenia to your village?
I don't think I'll ever have it to.
Yes.
No, like maybe I can.
Yeah,
send
I
it
have
to your
I have a
relatives.
house there. You can go, brother. You can go 2-3 years and forget.
I don't think I'll ever have my shit figured out, no matter what age I am. Number one. But yeah, maybe I should go to highest 10, 2-3 years, see what happens.
Yes, it's gonna change.
One of the guys that works for my company trains over there. Roy, do you know Roy?
Roy,
Tall Hispanic guy.
Yeah, I think so. He trains. Where does he train? Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
he
know
trains
him.
with you guys.
He comes to the grappling class. Yeah, amazing guy.
Yeah, and he. I guess you guys, some of your.
He said he tapped you one time.
No, he didn't, bro. I don't want to get Roy draw. Roy did not
He
say
didn't
that.
say that.
Roy, brother, I'll see you. Today is grappling day.
Please, I need Roy to show up to
No,
work,
I'm joking.
bro.
I love the guy. You know,
He's such a good guy. Roy is just a solid class act, but he was just talking about, I guess there was a striking tournament or something this past weekend, and one of the guys broke his foot in the tournament.
Yeah, his friend Tristan, he went. It was a war 3 round. You know, the guy came out victorious. He broke his foot and he still won the fight. And yeah, Roy was there too. And of course, Fed is everywhere. You know, I was there supporting my boys. You know, amazing. That was amazing. All these PMTs, PKBs. You know, like point kickboxing fight. It's really good for like. Before you step to like UNF cage, I think you have to go through this.
Let me ask you, is that something that UNF should be getting involved with?
No.
I mean, running like those sparring tournaments or something like that?
No. You guys are too professional. You know, this is I think too amateur. Even Rising Stars division, everyone is professional. I think what you guys do right now is the best. You know, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Like,
I think one thing that we do want to do though is we want to start
kickboxing.
Yeah, we're working on some cool stuff for kickboxing, but it'll be the level of our MMA shows.
Mm-hmm.
But is working with kids more, getting kids into tournaments and things like that, running stuff for kids. Because I have a big place in my heart for kids. You know.
I know you're a really kind person.
Well, I don't know.
He's the best.
That.
Do I not talk? The only thing I call you is old. By the way, I never say anything about your character.
I'll be honest with you.
Go ahead, bro.
I don't really like adults a lot. Adults. Like I
love kids. I hate adults. It sounds kind of weird, man.
Bro, that's what I was
not
thinking.
Like that.
I'm kidding.
Not like that, but no, like kids are just so like genuine. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And you could be a positive part of their life. You know what I mean? A lot of adults are just a little different. A lot of people have agendas or have attitudes, this and that.
Very true.
Kids are just awesome.
Yeah, most adults, they already messed up, you know? So,
Yeah.
There's no fixing the adults anymore.
Yeah.
No, that's what I mean.
You're like, yeah, I'm not even going to waste time on this guy. Yeah, or I know it was crazy, yes. Sometimes that happens too. But the kids, yeah, they're easy to get under influence, yeah?
Yeah.
So you just got to make sure you're the good one. So they get under good influence.
I know this is going to sound silly, but I got so much joy out of seeing all those kids that came to watch you, seeing them there cheering for you and just rooting for you. That just gives me a lot of...
Yeah, those kids are
joy.
amazing. They're amazing. Like I was telling Ryan, I'm like, sometimes before it was like everybody wanted to be UFC fighters, right? And like couple days ago, like I hear some kids like, when I grow up, I want to be like you. I want to fight for UNF. I want to be a UNF fighter. You know. I'm like, I'm like, yeah, you guys are getting big. That means something, right? The kids
it's amazing. It's
the
so
kids,
cool.
and it's the best because like. In UFC event, like you don't really get to talk to the fighters and everything, you know. But here you come, okay, the fighters fight, and you're next to them. You talk with them, you walk with them, you know, and it feels like super friendly.
Yeah. It's a really cool experience for them, as opposed to being at the UFC event and just having your seat. They kind of get to run around a little bit, and they really enjoy the show.
Well, that's what I worry about too. If we continue to grow, right, we're at that stage where it still feels very close. You know, if we continue to grow, if we grow too much, will we lose that touch? You know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think if you started like this, you guys not gonna lose it.
Yeah, I think that's important. Like staying in touch with the fans and the fighters, and I think that's one thing too. Like that I love about UNF is that we're really close to all the fighters.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's really cool.
That's really good. I agree. Yeah. No, but the kids really enjoy talking to fighters. Like some fighters, I don't remember which guy it was. It was from other gym, but. If you know, I'm talking about you. Thank you, bro. He gave one of my kids a glove, UNF glove.
So cool.
And this kid is just wearing it every day in the gym. I'm like, yeah, bro. Like sometimes you do little things, and for you it's little things, but for somebody it's really
a big deal. Yeah, I always tell people like one little thing can make a positive difference in someone's life, and you never know. It actually could be life changing. Like just one moment in time can make such a huge difference in someone's life.
100%. Yeah, that's why you need to try to be good person, you know. Like I think that's what matters, you know. because like fighting, yeah, I love this to death, but like there's gonna be a point when you just that's it, you know. It's a career, just like any other career. You're gonna end it, but people are gonna remember you. If you want them to remember you like you're Colby Covington, like okay, talk shit, cast people out, talk about people's families, or you can be someone like my brother Benil Dariush. People will always talk good for you, you know.
Yeah.
Like yeah, it's up to you which one you want to be,
Yeah.
you know.
Totally. So I want to ask. So you do the wrestling class at highest stand. What's some advice you would give to kids that want to pursue MMA?
Go to High North Street wrestling class. We're gonna 2 3 years and you're gonna be a really good fighter. You have to wrestle if you want to be a fighter. If you don't wrestle, somebody one day is gonna take you down to the deep waters. They're gonna make you tap, or it's
Kind
gonna
of what we used to roll. What I did to you. Yeah.
yeah. Oh man.
Nah,
The truth is,
he used
Fed.
to beat me up, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
He like he loves like the wrist control, putting your arm behind your back. when
Oh
you're-
yeah.
I'm
Chicken
old
wing.
school. Yeah, I'm dirty, bro.
I like that chicken wing. That's
chicken
American
wing.
wrestling
Yeah.
though, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely like
Yeah,
dirty.
yeah. I think no, like all jokes aside, I think wrestling, and when I say wrestling, all the wrestling types together, judo including, sambo including. I think wrestling is the toughest, hardest sport ever. You know, I love boxing, I love kickboxing, I love every sport, but like the push of training of wrestling, it's different. That's why you see all American wrestlers, they come to UFC, they become great strikers, they dominate the sport. Who has the most champions in UFC? What sport base?
Wrestling.
Wrestling.
Exactly. That's the best sport of the world. You know, you have to wrestle. That's it.
Yeah.
You have to wrestle, Ryan.
All right. I think I might go sign up at highest stand after this podcast.
You should, brother. I will give you some discounts.
Yeah, you got me on a discount.
Use promo code Fedya. So Fed, I don't want you to look, past Isaac Vasquez on May
never,
31st, right? And I know you're not, but I kind of want to like, what does your future look like, right? If you have a dominant performance, you get that strap May 31st, are you looking to make that pro jump or what does that look like for you?
Yeah, I want to go pro soon, but like I don't want to think like before this fight. You know
Yeah.
what I'm gonna do. Just like how fighters say, we don't want to say, "Oh, we're gonna retire after this fight." You know, when they say this, it always goes bad. You know, so that's what I wanna. I just want to fight this fight. You know, just get better with this guy. Of course, we're gonna go to war, and it's gonna be a really good fight. And I want to grow from this, and then I'm gonna make my choice. Maybe right after the fight in the cage. You know. We'll see.
We might be
how
able to
it
expect
goes.
an announcement in the cage.
Yeah, we will.
Maybe Dana gets some call outs, you know,
I like that.
like Pargev did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Listen,
that.
I love Pargev. Pargev
Yeah.
is a really interesting guy. I think he's now going to be going pro. He may be on the May. No, he's not fighting May, right?
I don't believe he's gonna be on the May
He's
card.
gonna take
but-
some time off.
but
You know?
Yeah, he's pretty active.
Yeah. Well, he's
He is.
officially made that pro jump, so his next fight is gonna be as a professional.
What do you think of Pargev's wrestling?
Amazing,
Yeah.
really good wrestling. Again, he comes from the same schools I come from. I before he even fought, like I was telling people, I'm like, yeah, he's gonna go through everyone, you know. So 125 is the best in California, right?
Yeah.
Of course, bro. Like it's the wrestling again, bro. We're wrestlers. We dominate. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
But
no.
he's improved. His striking has improved a lot
Yes,
too.
he is, and he's a hard worker. You know, we used to live together around like 1 year. We lived together, me and Pargev.
How old were you guys when you guys lived together?
That was like 2 years ago.
Oh,
So we were training, like running, training, wrestling together. You know, amazing. He's a good guy. You know, and he's working hard, so he's gonna get there. I think he's gonna be one of the guys that will make it to UFC.
I firmly believe that. I think if he goes pro, he has a 5-fight win streak, something like that. I think he'll get the call.
I think so too, especially 125ers.
Yeah.
It's not as much competition
Yeah.
as the real weight class. You know, 155.
oh, the real one.
Yeah.
The real weight class.
155 is that the
the kingdom.
toughest.
No, it's a tough weight class.
It
There's
is.
a
It's the
lot. It's
hardest.
super deep.
That's why the fighters are the most entertaining and
Yeah.
the most popular ones, right?
Yeah.
Who has the best followings? 55ers, you know? That's where all the money is and that's where all the fame is, I think.
Yeah.
But other weight classes, still, every weight class is tough, from heavyweight to flyweight. Everyone is fighter, you know? It's never going to be easy. It's never going to be easy.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, in UNF, there's no easy fights in UNF. It's not like some other promotions where you see, like, you can get these easy matchups. It just doesn't happen that way.
Yeah, I see some guys 6-0 record, like fighting all bumps. Yeah, no, we always try to. Ryan always tries to put some fight
Yeah.
when it's like when you don't know you're gonna win or not. Like there's no 100%. That's what makes fighting interesting. If you're gonna go to a fight, 100,000%, there's no way of losing. Then what's the reason of fighting, right?
Yeah.
That's
No,
what
I
that's what
totally agree
think.
with that. Or like even for the fans, like what's the point of watching?
Yeah, bro. Like you already know. Like
Well, I think that's one thing that UNF's done well is making fan-friendly fights.
Hell yeah.
Super entertaining.
Yeah.
Always on the edge of your seat.
Listen, Jason Granado versus Attila, we were just talking about it. Like something like that, right? When that fight got announced, everyone was like, what the fuck? This fight's so insane. They have no idea who's going to win.
Yeah, but even like your fight against Liam, right? Like not as competitive a fight, right? But what I would say is like the energy in the room spoke for itself too, if you get what I'm saying.
yeah.
You know?
I don't know, bro. Liam wanted to submit me, I guess.
Yeah, but you
It was
dominated
good.
that fight.
Well, everyone
You completely just dominated.
everyone wanted to see what tells you had
Yeah.
that night. That's
Did
why.
they see it?
I saw some tells. I'm not gonna say them out. I don't want people to hear. I don't want Isaac to be listening right
Yeah,
now, so I
tell
can
them.
say the tells.
Find some tells, brother. I might fix it.
You're gonna give
That,
secret messages to Isaac. or
I'm
something,
kidding.
right?
I didn't see any. How can you find tells in that
Listen,
performance?
I'll respect to Liam, but you dominated that fight,
Yeah.
right? Like
It
so-
was a finish. It was good. I was like, when I got to the back, like I'm like, I've seen he got finished there before, so that was the game plan. I wasn't gonna take him down. I was gonna knock him out. So I heard him on the feet. He went for takedown. I'm like, yeah. The next time somebody was on your mouth, you got finished. So I'm gonna put you in there, where you don't want to be. So that was the case. When I went to the mount, I started hitting. I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep hitting so many times until they stop. I think I counted. It was 38 shots to the head, and I was just like Super Marioing him down until I get the finish. Sometimes I see it like in the fights, it's not about like power, it's about the volume to get the finish.
yeah.
Yeah.
So as I'm fighting more and I'm getting more experience, I'm understanding it more to
Yeah.
how to finish. the
Being a
guys.
little patient, not just
Yes.
trying to load up every punch.
Because with when I fought Jeffrey Bishop, bro, I throw hard hammers to his head, really hard. As
He's
hard
a
as
tough guy, man.
super tough guy and
Yeah.
very intelligent guy.
Yeah.
Bro, so many hard shots, and like I didn't get the finish because I'll go crazy, then he'll just go like survive, then go up, and I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm not gonna get the finish. So it's rather, just like. So that was the case. I'm getting more experience. I like that. It's very
Yeah.
important.
Has Jeffrey fought since he fought Fed?
I think he fought once for another promotion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was gonna fight with Sevak, no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was gonna come back, and then I
Yeah.
think he got injured.
He's okay, but he had like a minor injury from like a car accident like 2 weeks before the fight.
Such a cool guy.
Yeah, we trained after that.
Oh really?
Yeah, I always whoever I fight, we're always like friends or in a friendly relationship. Jeffrey was one of them. Especially he's a nice guy. How can you?
I love
not
when like
the guy?
guys could go to war together though, and there's that mutual respect, right?
Of course,
we
after fight always. Like, how can you not respect the guy, right? He just fight. He went to fight with you in front of people. That's what I'm saying. No, he was amazing. All the guys I fought, everyone was like good human
But
beings.
which was your favorite fight?
The hardest or favorite?
Let's go both. It'd be favorite fight first.
Favorite fight. I think the most fun I had was Mashadi because I was like 19 and it was a big deal. UNF, all the lights, first time being on the cameras. I was like, oh, this.
You're
is
like, oh,
big.
this is it. All right.
I remember like before the fight, I'm like, because Mashadi is a wrestler too. I'm like, and we go fight stance. I'm like, no, we go wrestling stance. I'm like, let's see whose wrestling is better. I'm like, I represent Armenian wrestling, you represent American wrestling. So it was fun, and I was a kid. I was like,
Yeah.
it was more fun. Then, but a hardest fight is, of course, the one that I lost. But outside of that, that guy David Hajiev, the guy is good, really good.
Yeah.
People don't understand like, and it was a lot of hype behind it because he's from Azerbaijan and I'm from Armenia, and it was like the conflict. But he's a Christian guy and I'm Christian guy, and there was zero thing about this.
Yeah.
George even wanted to cancel the fight, thinking, "Oh, people gonna go crazy." I'm like, no. Everyone is like respect. About respect here. But he was good, bro. Like I was taking him down, he would get up. Fighter, real fighter.
Yeah. No, he's definitely good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually kind of worried about that,
Yeah.
but you guys handled that, both of you, like class acts, and George and everyone just sort of, hey, everybody's going to be cool, just act like professionals.
It
And
shows
you
what
guys
kind of
did.
person you were too, what you said on the mic after the fight
Yeah.
as well.
I had to tell them, because bro, like we as Armenians, we always talk about how we are the first country to be Christians, but if you're a Christian, you have to try to act like Christ, and the Christ won't like this,
Yeah.
There is no Christian that will like this. The guy is amazing, bro. He's respectful. I see him almost every week. We go to competitions. Like I see him, we always shake hands, talk.
Yeah.
He's amazing. I will want to see him in UNF cage again, honestly, with the other guys, and you guys will see how good he is. And I'm not just saying this.
Yeah.
I don't really say the guys are good unless they're really good.
Yeah.
And I felt the guy was good everywhere, and he's
Yeah.
a hard worker. He finished some guy in a jiu-jitsu competition with some choke I never seen, and he named
Shit.
it. Yeah, he named it after himself, and that video has like 500,000 views
Wow.
on Instagram. Yeah, crazy.
That's awesome.
That was amazing.
What's on your bucket list? What do you have? What are some of the things you want to do in life besides make it to the UFC? Other things you want to accomplish?
Yeah, I want to make family, of course. Just have kids, maybe 4.
4 kids.
4.
Boys, girls, mix.
I want, if it's gonna be 4, I want 3 guys and 1 girl.
Yeah.
Because
Daddy's little girl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the boys has to protect them.
Yeah. I love that.
That's what I want to do, and I want to open a gym, and I want to just kind of do what Dave does. Just try to be a good person. Just share goodness, and of course I want to share God's word. I want to share the gospel. Hopefully it can reach to other guys' hearts, and maybe I can change some lives. Maybe. But most important, I just want to be a good person. I don't want to look back and just regret.
Yeah.
That's why I'm taking all these fights. I'm competing every week. When I'm like 35, 36, when I'm done with the sport, I don't want to look back, be like, oh shit, but I could compete on May 31st, but I didn't do it because I was too lazy to go run every morning, or I was too lazy I just didn't want to fight that day. I didn't feel like it. No, bro, whatever happens, happens. I'm going to train as hard as I can. I'm going to show up, and I'm going to show off, That's it.
Well, you're definitely on the right track to be a good. You're already a good person, is what I meant to say. But
Thank you, brother.
you're gonna achieve everything you want to achieve and more, brother.
Yeah, no, you've been representing UNF as an excellent champion. We appreciate
you,
you.
brother.
I think everyone's really looking forward to your performance May 31st. I think you have a very worthy opponent in front of you,
Amazing,
and
amazing.
we're looking forward to it.
Oh yes, we are.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Fed. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Fed.